You're listening to All Marine Radio on the All Warrior Radio Network.
Did anybody try to intervene and talk to you? What kind of efforts had people made up to that point to talk to you and help you?
It wasn't until I got relieved as a drill instructor. That's when my battalion sergeant major, and I owe him a debt of gratitude, he hand walked me down to medical at Parris Island. And
you had never, up to that point, you had never been to, you had never seen a mental health professional?
No.
Okay.
Not at Camp Pendleton. I went through DI school. I went through McQuist school. I started working recruits. And I was the whole time losing my mind, literally. And then on top of that, I get the Navy Cross right after I get relieved. I actually got relieved, and then I got the Navy Cross.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. One day I'm a scumbag, and the next day everybody wanted to be my friend.
And the whole time, though, you're convinced that your career's over and you're a failure and dealing with those feelings.
Yeah.
But you had never been to see mental health. That's hard to believe.
You know, I think I was one of the, back then, nobody, it was like PTSD, what? Who? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Here's a fistful of drugs. We want you to take the drugs so you don't hurt yourself or anybody else and just walk around be a zombie so you just don't hurt anybody. That's essentially what they did to me. I was so numb, I couldn't tell whether I was coming or going. I remember one time pulling up to work there at Parris Island, passing out with the truck still running, and I sat there in the truck. They found me 3 hours later sleeping in my truck because I was just zonked out. You know, and this is just, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Are you still drinking at that point?
Oh, yeah. I really say there was two things that helped me. One was the birth of my son. When he was born, I was like, you got to get your shit together. You cannot just be in this dazed and confused all the time. You can't be a zombie. And then the second thing was when I left Parris Island, they gave me orders to Quantico so I could be closer to Bethesda for better health care.
Right.
And General Tryon was the CG down at Parris Island, had transferred up and took over recruiting command at Quantico. And when I checked in to Quantico, he brought me up for an office call, and he's like, hey, Double Dog, is there anything you need? Is there anything you want? I'm here to help you. I said, sir, I've never had anybody with a star ask me if I want or need anything. So I'm just going to shoot. He goes, go ahead. I said, I'd like to go to jump school. I want to feel like a Marine again. He goes, you want to go to jump school? You're going to jump school, son. It was that easy. Yeah, jump school was pretty cool. There was only 11 Marines. There was like 350 of us in the class. And we had a blast. We graduated on the Marine Corps birthday, so they let all the Marines jump out on our last jump together, and we sang the Marine Corps hymn as we were coming down. It was pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was neat. But I felt like a Marine again. I was doing something Marine-ish. I hadn't done that in a long time.
How important was that to you?
Oh, it meant the world to me. I don't know. I felt like a scumbag, to be honest with you. Like I was just useless. Yeah, I kept going to mental health, and things would get better, and then I'd do it, one step forward, two steps back. I'd play that game as like I was running in sand.
Right.
Back on the medication. And then, you know, they had me working at the Marine Corps Museum. That was my new job at Quantico when I got back from jump school. So every day for 6 months, I had to stand there and dress blues or Charlies, and basically, it was the weirdest thing. A lot of people knew I was there, and
did you hate it?
Oh, it was terrible.
You know, I mean, you've seen what the hell's Flags of Our Father, right?
Yeah.
Did you relate to the parts where those guys came home and they were on that bond tour and people are calling them heroes and getting paraded out in front of everybody and they're not dealing with it? Did you relate to that when you saw that?
That's exactly what I felt like. That's exactly what I felt like. People would come in the museum. Can we get pictures with you? Can we do? I'd go home, just drink. Give me a beer.
Give me a beer.
No, I kind of just kept myself. I mean, there was a few folks I talked to, but for the most part, I kind of stayed to myself. It was weird. A lot of the higher ups, I could talk to them. Like, I remember having a conversation with General Lefebvre and General Coleman, and, you know, they all knew how I felt and were very supportive and things like that. I got kind of close with General Mattis, and but yeah, it was so bizarre. Even when I first was awarded the Navy Cross, I didn't even wear the ribbon at Parris Island for probably 3 weeks.
Why?
Because I associated it with nothing but bad. Well, that came about. I told you I had been out doing the speaking tour thing.
Right.
And after one of the speeches, a guy came up to me and he said, "Have you ever thought about putting your story down on paper?" And I said, "No." And he said, "I think you should. I think you could help a lot of people." I said, "Well, if I could help some people and I could quit telling my story, I'm all for it." Because everybody asks, what happened? How'd you do this? And that was my motivation behind it, was if I can help, because the book's not all about combat. I'd say 25% of it is about what happened in Fallujah. The rest is my struggles with PTSD and how I kind of overcame that and moved on and kind of control it and not let it control me. But that's how it happened. 2009.
Hey, good looking picture on the cover, by the way.
Yeah, on the hair.
There you go. Look at that. Got those big bushy eyebrows going. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Got your jump wings on there. That's awesome. Is the book a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, I thought it was good. I thought it was therapeutic for me. I felt like, I had a ghostwriter help me do it. And just working through the process.
What, that Marion, Ohio public education didn't work for you?
Yeah, exactly.
What's up with that? English teacher at MHS?
Yeah. No, it was therapeutic. And I felt like I got the story out there, at least, what I saw that day, how I remembered it. And I felt like I had 1,000 pounds off my shoulders. And I started getting a shit ton of messages on Facebook. Hey brother, you're not alone, or I'm dealing with this. You've helped me. You've helped my son. You've helped my daughter, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm really glad I did this. And I mean, to this day, I've gotten messages from all over the world, actually, saying, "Hey, you've helped me." And sometimes it's not even combat related. It's been sexual trauma, or it's been I was wrongly accused and put in prison. Now I finally got out of prison, and I read your book. It's helped me. I mean, it's been good.
Okay, what about when you wrote the book? Are you still drinking at that time? Were you going to mental health? Were you making progress? I mean, were you on the upswing then?
Yeah, when the book came out, believe it or not, that was probably some of the heaviest drinking I did, just because I was out on the road so much. I spent a lot of time out on the road doing speeches and things like that. And
so let me ask you: Flags of Our Father comes out, and you see Ira Hayes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
There's actually a line in my book about drunken Ira Hayes.
Really?
Absolutely.
And you could totally identify with him.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I had more than one person in my family say they're going to find you dead somewhere in a hotel.
How does this story get better? Or when do you get out of the Marine Corps?
I got out in January of 2010.
All right. So now we're going. Your son is born. You said things that make it better. Your son is born in February of 2007. You go to jump school. The book comes out when?
September of 2009.
September of 2009. And are you still working at the museum?
No, actually, I was working for the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps as this driver.
Wow. Were you a good driver?
We got everywhere we had to go, and we never had any accidents. He'd probably tell you I was a bad driver, but that was the best tour, actually, next to being in 3-5.
Right.
I loved working for that man. He helped me through a lot of stuff, and he's like a father figure to me. He's like my second dad to this day.
All right, tell everybody who that was.
Sergeant Major Kent.
Sergeant Major Kent.
The 16th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps.
You're listening to All Marine Radio on the All Warrior Radio Network.